Hi, I'm Batista at drfitnessusa.com. Today we're going to talk about grounding. What is grounding? Well, we all know what grounding means in terms of the electrical panels in your house. But in spiritual science, there is such a thing as grounding the body to achieve more of a connection between mind, spirit, body, and also to remove the excess energies from one's energy field, to neutralize our energy and to restore balance. Sometimes we have images and energies that are stuck to our energy field, and we are maybe depressed. We might experience some feelings, we don't know where they're coming from, and they're not necessarily our energies. They're probably energies that we have picked up from the collective consciousness. And when we use tools such as grounding, it allows us to remove those energies and to restore calm. So when you do ground the body, there's a lot of benefits to it. You become very centered and connected. You become aware and focused, calm. You're not so stressed out anymore. And you find that body-mind-spirit integration. And if you have pain in the body, then you might have less pain. And basically, it's about living in the now, being in the now, living in the now, in the present moment. So by the same token, when you are ungrounded, then you're disconnected, you're unfocused, stressed out, anxious, you might have insomnia, anxiety, depression. So grounding the body is a very, very valuable tool to learn how to do and to practice it daily so that we can just basically be happier and have a better quality of life. So there's different ways of grounding the body. We can ground through visualization, for example, or through vibrational exercises such as chanting. One very, very simple way to ground the body is to connect the body to the earth. So that you can do by just simply walking barefoot in nature, or hugging a tree, or like smelling the roses, you know. You can ground through meditation, and in our body design formula prescription strength training system, we ground the body through strengthening the nervous system. Now, what is the nervous system and why should we even talk about it? So the nervous system in your body is the communication center of your body. The nervous system actually controls every cells of your body. So it controls not only how you move, but also what you think, what you feel. It controls your emotions. Everything is controlled by the nervous system. So this is why it's very important to strengthen the nervous system. Now you can compare the nervous system to the electrical panel in your house. Now, if your electrical panel is outdated and you plug in too many appliances to it, then what's going to happen? You're going to blow a fuse, right? So the body is very similar. When you are ungrounded and your nervous system is on overload, very much so like the electrical panel in your house, then you're going to blow a fuse. But how is that going to translate in terms of your body and your health? It might show as like depression or some type of an illness, or chronic fatigue, weight gain or weight loss, insomnia, chronic pain, injuries. When you're ungrounded, unfocused, and you're not centered, and you're on overload, you're not in the now. That means that you might do things on automatic pilot. Like, have you ever driven somewhere and then you get to your destination and you don't have any recollection of how you got there? That's being ungrounded. And we pretty much all do that. But when you live your life like this, then you are prone to injuries because you're not conscious. You might step off the curb and not even realize that you stepped off the curb and fall and break your ankle. And also, when you're on overload, it affects your hormones. So the solution is to rewire your electrical panel to kind of go through a rehab on your body. That's what we mean by strengthening the nervous system. We increase a person's strength 20 to 50%, and sometimes very rapidly, sometimes in 20 minutes, sometimes in a week. By strengthening the nervous system, then you kind of like update your internal wiring system. The body undergoes a targeted series of specific sequences of strength training exercises that impact the nervous system with a tremendous amount of physical strength and releases a massive amount of endorphins throughout the body very, very rapidly. This process links the brain-muscle connection, instantly quiets the mind, and creates an immediate feeling of calm, empowerment, and accomplishment. Well, you may say that's all well, but the bottom line is I don't like working out. Well, here's an insight for you. When you say I'm not motivated, it means that your body has deteriorated to the point where emotional issues overpower you and zap you of your physical strength. When you experience the strength increase we're talking about here, it will immediately make you feel successful. The positive feelings produced by this success will override the emotional inertia and reawaken archetypal images of strength that lie dormant in the subconscious mind. Increased physical strength will lead to motivation that results from the reawakening of self-esteem.
Go for it. Oh my God. That's great.
So that brings us to the next topic, which is multitasking. Scientifically speaking, research shows that multitasking can negatively impact memory and IQ, resulting in attention and memory loss, loss of productivity, and poor cognitive performance equal to a drop in IQ that is similar to what they would expect someone to have after smoking marijuana or staying up all night, averaging the range of an 8-year-old child. So high multitaskers also show to have less brain density in the anterior cingulate cortex of the brain responsible for empathy as well as cognitive and emotional control. Multitasking in meetings or other social settings indicate low self and social awareness. So basically, when you're multitasking, your attention is split. So you end up doing a crappy job at multiple activities at once, which will result in you having to do it again, thus wasting time. So let's take a look of how we could apply the grounding principles to the gym environment. Here is a word by Dr. Fitness USA himself.
Grounding is actually separated in 3 different components. One is your focus. That means there's no texting, while you exercise, while you're resting, etc., etc. No texting. You're supposed to be focused. And the second part is to check your equipment that it's working properly. If you're doing like a lat pull down, you want to make sure that the cable is not you got to make sure that the cable is working properly. That means that the plates, or as you do the exercise, it's sliding up and down properly. That means that it's probably oiled or greased at the top, so there's less friction on the machine. The second thing is you need to be able to ground your body. Again, so what does that mean? It means that, again, if we're doing a lat pull down, you have to be sitting into the machine, but the rollers are going to be brushed right up against your hips. Most people sit in a machine and the rollers are at the front of their thighs, so they're not grounded. So the rollers are tight to the thighs. The rollers are resting flat on the top of your thighs to hold you down, and your feet are actually flat on the floor for lat pull downs behind the neck or in front. If you're doing V-handle pull down, then it would be okay to slide your feet forward maybe 45 degrees, but again your heels would be flush on the ground. You wouldn't be pressing with your toes. So if you put all those elements together, we would say that you're grounded and focused, no texting.
Today's tip, less talking, more lifting.
You made sure the equipment is functioning properly, and now you're positioning your body in 3 different ways. The cable length, your top of your thighs, or where when you sit, the rollers are tight to your body, and the third thing is that the rollers are tight to your thighs.
So that's great. So you're saying that you want to make sure that in each exercise your body is secured into the position, into the equipment. So this is one aspect of being grounding, that each exercise you're comfortable, secured, well placed into the equipment. So this was one example on the lat pull down, but you would say that each exercise has to be executed with the same focus and the same form and technique.
Again, another example would be when you're doing a lot of people, when they do, let's say, a reverse rear delt, what they do is they sit into the machine face forward. So what it means is you're a victim of the machine. The weight is controlling you. How you ground yourself is it's a runner stance. 1 foot back, 1 foot forward. So the action of the pull is the opposite leg, but your heel is always flush on the pedal or the ground.
It's the other foot.
Yeah. Do you want to explain why this method is so
Well, what
effective?
you're trying to do when you have a half circular motion, it's your rhomboids that are working. Those are underneath your trapezius muscles that run from the middle of your back to the top of your head.
So is that why you're scoop it down like that?
Exactly, because there's no intrusion. It's one fluid motion
And what's
that
so
bypasses your neck.
and what's so good about using the slant board, doing it from that angle?
You're biomechanically in a position that you don't stress out your joints. Okay, and it's angulating your body downward, so you're hitting the middle part of your trapeze muscles. Okay, and the benefit of the exercise, it strengthens all your supraspinatus and the muscle below or on top. It strengthens all your shoulder joints. It's an invaluable movement that we're going to follow up with some rhomboid front and back pulls.
Would that be a good one for people with shoulder injuries?
Not unless they've been instructed properly by Dr. Fitness himself as to why they need to use it. It's an advanced movement. So most people wouldn't know don't have the proper warm-up or transition in from one exercise to another exercise. They're just hitting and missing, thinking it looks good, but you have to be efficient in what you're doing, and you got to know why you're doing it and how it fits into the overall plan of action of how your body or muscles work together as a unit.
Great. So does the sequence of exercise also has to do something with the grounding of the body?
Absolutely. When you play an instrument, you have to have a starting note, and then it follows another note, and another note, and another note. It's the same thing. It's the same thing when you go to a chiropractor. What are they looking for? They're looking as if the vertebrae are in its proper position. That means that they're following a certain sequence in the right angle. And if they are, then it means that your hips and everything are in alignment with the universe, so to speak, and they would say your body is grounded. But they always find a place where the vertebrae are misaligned, and they're not going to use that term, you're not grounded. See, the correct word is, if we put the vertebrae in alignment and remove the subluxations, your body's going to be grounded. That means if you pass a line through the body, it's going to go from the top of your head right down to the center of your body or the middle of your body. And when you move, things are going to be moving in harmony or unison. If the line is distorted, then you're going to have some type of pain or distortion when you lift things or do things with either parts of your arms.
So let's look at how we can apply the grounding principle to our workouts. Well, the first thing would be to go in to the gym with a written plan. Go with a plan. Write it down. So now you have a plan. So go in and locate your equipment. Inspect the equipment. Make sure it's not broken. Well, of course, you might want to wipe the sweat off. Inspect the piece of equipment. Make sure that it actually works perfectly and it's not broken. Scan the environment before you do your workout. A lot of people drop weights and scream, or they're not aware of personal space, so they might crowd your space, and all of a sudden somebody next to you is starting to yell or drop the weight. It could be very startling. So make sure that you have a vision of your environment, and of course visualize the exercise before doing it, so that you're centered, focused. Then get prepared to do it with intent, with focus. Leave the cell phone in the car. Forget texting or answering calls. The gym time is the me time. It's the you time. It's the time where you take away from your busy life so that you can recover your strength, your health. Energetically speaking, a good idea is to have an attitude of gratitude. Take an intention. What are you trying to achieve? What do you want to achieve? What things would you like to get rid of in your life? The gym is a great place to work on all those things, because you are not only with yourself, but you have the opportunity to lift that weight, to relieve emotions and stress. So make an intention. Send love energy to the gym, not hate. I hate the gym, but I gotta go anyway because blah blah blah. No, I love the gym. I love to go to the gym because I get to work on myself, to work on my body, to work on my mind. Project love energy. Visualize a good time. Visualize the outcome. What do you want to do? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to be stronger? Do you want to be pain-free? Plant seeds and use the time to the most. Attitude of gratitude. That's a big one. Use it. Above all, be present, because if you're present, connected, and you listen to your body, if something doesn't feel good, then maybe it's not good for you. They say no pain, no gain, so you're going to the gym, and the more you hurt, the more you think you're working out. And the more you think you're going to get benefits, chances are you're really hurting yourself. So no pain, no gain is not the game. No pain, more gain. That's the name of that game. So be comfortable, be present, set intentions, be in the now, stop multitasking, one thing at a time, attitude of gratitude. Those are the principles of grounding that will change your life entirely. Apply them in the gym and see the rest of your life transform. Make an intention. What is your intention? Because if your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then Dr. Fitness USA can certainly help you to achieve it.